And I really like how you just were like, I'm a hedonist, dude. Like, I'm not even gonna cap.
Yeah.
I love pleasure, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's really important, because sometimes we can feel guilt, like, yo, I'm in recovery. I don't need pleasure.
Yeah.
It's like, nope. I like pleasure.
Yeah. No, 100%. In fact, it talks about that in Buddhism, just to go spiritual. But there's a really good documentary narrated by Richard Gere, who's a Buddhist, right?
Okay.
And he talks about, like, in the early days of Siddhartha's kind of ascension into enlightenment, he got stuck because he was basically became an ascetic. What that means is he, like, cut out everything. So he was trying to live on 1 grain of rice a day. Maybe it wasn't really, but whatever.
Right,
he was trying to live on 1 grain of rice a day. And he realized that in the end, the extreme cutting everything out wasn't the answer.
Wow.
Yeah. And so he kind of came back into the middle,
Okay.
the middle path, as it's called.
Right.
But yeah, no. When it comes to exercising, yeah, just to draw back on that, it's not just, you're probably going to live another 20 years versus if you're doing maybe what I was doing back in the day, which was that kind of drinking habit I had. But it's the quality of life as well. There's a big difference between being 80 as a dude in a wheelchair versus,
Great point. Yeah. I don't want someone wiping my ass.
Personally.
So let's dive back into your experience with alcohol.
Yes.
So
that's one point.
you love to party.
Yeah.
And you love to party, and you realize, though, hey, this maybe isn't that healthy for you. How did you end up kind of changing that mindset for yourself?
I've always been trying to not drink my whole life. So it's been like a thing where I've always kind of recognized on some level that it was, probably around the age of 19, 18, I started to kind of recognize that I wanted to. First successful spell away from alcohol, 2015 was when I left the commercial gym I was working at, and I really didn't have a lot of money, so I had to really scale everything back. And it was kind of like me going out into the world onto my own, and there was a 6-month period, I think it was, or 5 months, where I didn't drink any alcohol. And in that period of time, I went to like another level of consciousness. I feel like I wasn't even meditating, but just unplugging from the behavioral kind of drinking cult that everyone around me was in. Just allowed me just that time to kind of be by myself and just kind of tune back into life,
Right.
So that was my first like real kind of, but then I was in an extended relationship, let's say, and which started off beautiful. And
as most do.
Yeah, exactly. And as many relationships do, they reveal the parts of yourself that you were before unbeknown to.
Oh,
and
beautiful.
And one can interpret this as a positive, but in the moment it can often feel like a negative or a challenge. And let's just say that within this relationship, I kind of started drinking again, and that became like a nightly thing for quite a while, and that was a challenge as well, because I was a personal trainer, and I felt like fraudulent to an extent,
Okay, yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I was in good shape, and I knew my stuff, and I could help guys get results and everything, but at the same time, was I really being the best version of myself that I could be? I mean, ironically, I was. I was doing the best with the tools I had at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But you knew there could be more.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I started working at some retreats so I'm going to skip forward like 3 years. Okay, at the start of all the lockdown stuff, that's when I really hang on. Sorry, I'm jumping all over the place. This is part of the way my mind works, but I'm going to try and keep it like. Okay, so in 2019, I went out to a nightclub, and I was super hammered, and I was out with one of my clients in a club in Vauxhall, and some woman made eyes at me, and let's just say I went back to her place I was slightly less safe in that interaction than I should have been when it comes to making sure you're protected against venereal diseases. So I woke up the next day and I was like, Jesus, I was super, like my anxiety went to the next level, right?
Oh,
and that's another topic, alcohol anxiety or addiction anxiety. And I was like, geez, man. And then I was like, how long does it take to get an STD test back? And 2 weeks. And so I was, and at this moment, yeah. Right?
I feel you, brother.
Yeah. And at this moment in time, that was like the real moment of inflection where I was like, bro, man, like, this is, it was a close run, it was an edgy, I was worried, I was panicking that I had something really bad, like bad,
Yeah.
And fortunately, a clean bill of health, but I was like, dude, you got to change your ways, man. So that was like a 3-month period of sobriety. Then I kind of started getting on it like over Christmas 2019. I was going out, like, drinking quite a bit then, but then the lockdown thing hit, and I was like, bro, you can either go down the pan and you can, run your business or whatever, doing the drinking thing, or bro, this is your time to level up, man. And this is your time to, go into yourself, and it was amazing, man. I didn't drink through the whole lockdown. I was running holotropic breathwork classes online.
Wow.
So I was like connecting with people and like emotional, and I was like on another level, man. And it was beautiful.
Cool.
But then at the end of 2020, I kind of started going out drinking again. And then 2021, I started working at some retreats. So I was doing some volunteering at like some ayahuasca retreats and things like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that kind of asked me to be kind of sober.
Yeah.
And ever since then, really, me not drinking has been the norm. Like if I would go out, I would not drink. But sometimes I Sometimes I convince myself that it's a good idea to go the other way, and then I get some reflection on it.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's kind of an honest assessment of where I am on this journey, baby.
Very cool. Thank you, brother, for sharing that. That's it's crazy, like the things that caused you to make that change, right? Like for you, it was an STD, like almost. He didn't get one, so but that scare is enough to be like. For me, it was I got in trouble with the police.
Right. Wow.
And it was just enough to be like, oh fuck, I have to change right now.
Yeah.
So what's great though, guys, is you don't have to reach that rock bottom. You don't have to reach a place where you can be like, oh fuck, something bad is happening. You can quit before then. But if you are in like a place where your life just sucks, like take this as an opportunity, like Tim said, right? He saw an opportunity to change. And he's like, I have to do this. So use that pressure if it's available. I think that's a powerful thing to do. Use the cards that are dealt to you.
Yep. If you have that emotional stimulus, I wouldn't want anyone to feel like how I felt in that period of time, actually. But yeah, I think I'm reliving it. I haven't spoken about it for about 3 years.
Wow.
And also reach out to your community. A lot of people that are my friends in my community are not the people I hung out with. They're people like say like Joel that maybe I connected with because I saw them online and I'm like, right, this guy, wow, he gets it, And a lot of people that are in my current friendship circle are people that I have intentionally reached out to. So if you are someone like struggling, like, get in touch with Joel, man. I mean, he's a cool dude, man.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother.